Hello, I'm jdawgg, and this is my third part to my using your editor tutorial. We already covered, the first one covered how to actually move around and select and deselect and make brushes. The second one covered how to make this room that we're looking at right now. And this one's going to tell you how to compile and actually load up the map to test it. So, right now you should have this basic room. That actor there will not show up in game, so leave him alone. And what we're going to do is we're going to compile a map and spawn into it, and it's going to be over bright because there's not going to be any world spawn values or light entities yet, so don't worry about that. It is going to look a little weird, but it'll work, and that's the goal. So, first thing first, get into Windows Explorer, and you can go to Start, All Programs, Accessories, Windows Explorer. That's how you get here. Alright, and we're going to go to the Program Files folder. We're going to go to the Call of Duty folder, and there's our UO folder right there. First, go ahead and create a new folder in your program files actually, and it's going to be called Game, singular, G-A-M-E. All right, all lowercase. It's important you do this because the method that I'm showing you is going to rely on your directories being named the same thing as mine. So make a game folder, and inside that game folder, we're going to put the UO folder. All right. So we're going to go to our Call of Duty UO, we're going to right click and copy it, and then we're going to go to our game folder, and we're going to paste it in here. And as you see, I already have my UO folder pasted. So it's going to take a while, but after it's pasted, go on into it, and on the Explorer you can tell you're still in your game directory. And this is the game UO folder. You're not going to have this X model stuff here in the textures yet, but it will have all the pack files, the PK3 files. Now I included a tool in the zip file that you downloaded called Packscape, and that's what I'm opening these with. So go ahead and extract that program. Just extract it to your desktop because you don't have to install anything. It's a single executable. All right. Put it on your desktop, and then right-click on one of your PK3 files. Go to Open With, choose Program, check this box for Always Use in the future, and then if it's not in the list, click on Browse, go to your desktop, and select it, and then hit OK. Alright, and then it'll have this little mini icon. Now when you double click on your pack files, it opens them up in this cool Packscape program, and that's all the contents of it right there. First thing first, we want to get to, let's see, our pack U03 and 04 folders. So in our 03 folder we have our textures. Now I'm going to show you how to set it up. It's going to be using a lot of disk space, but it's going to be the most efficient way to ensure that your maps will work correctly. This is our working directory right now. After we're done doing all this setting up stuff, we're probably never going to enter our game folder again, but the Q3 map and the flare will be using it. So we're going to take the textures folder, copy it, and we're going to paste it out here, and it makes a textures folder right there. Alright? Then we're going to open up our pack UO04 folder, and we're going to take X model details, X model parts, and X model surfs. We're going to copy all those, and we're going to paste them out here. Alright, and it makes all four of them right there. That's the first step. And then inside of those are going to be a lot of files. It's probably going to take a while to copy. Now, one big problem I was having is any models that were from original Call of Duty that I had in my UO map weren't having, when I was compiling, it wasn't making shadows for them, and that's a big problem because it looked really awkward having a graveyard with all the tombstones not casting shadows. So the problem was I didn't have any of the original Call of Duty models in the UO working directory. See, when we compile our UO maps, it's going to look to this directory, the game directory, for all of its resources. All right. So we need to get the original Call of Duty stuff content into this folder, even though it's not UO stuff. Don't get hung up on that little fact there. So we're going to go back to our Call of Duty directory. We're going to go to our Call of Duty main folder, and we're going to take pack 0.pk3 and pack 1. Inside pack 0, right now, we see our X model details, X model parts, and X model surfs. Alright, we also see textures. So we're going to take all the X model stuff, hold Control, left click, and get the textures folder as well, and we're going to copy all those. Now we're going to find our way back to our game folder. Here it is, game. Go into our UO folder of there. we're going to paste it all right here. Now when you paste, even though you're pasting the directories, it's not going to overwrite all these existing directories. When I click this button, it's only going to ask you to overwrite files that are contained in those directories, alright? You want to say no. Now why? Right now, all the stuff that are currently in these folders are UO content. Now if I take original Call of Duty content and overwrite UO stuff, so I'm taking older crap and I'm overwriting the newer stuff with old stuff, it's going to mess up your game, right? So don't do it. If you did things exactly as I said, say no. If you took all your Call of Duty main folder stuff and put it in here first, then overwrite, just never mind. Say no. Alright, and then what it just did is it copied all the Call of Duty stuff and it copied it in here, not overwriting anything that UO expansion pack replaced. Because a lot of models and textures United Offensive just updated and overwrote, you know, whatever. Blah blah blah. I can talk a lot. No. I'm just gonna say cancel it because it's gonna. You just keep saying no. You shouldn't have to say no that many times, but it's gonna. I already did all this, so obviously it's gonna try to override every single file, thousands of files. Now we're basically done, almost done. Go back to your Call of Duty main folder, and we're gonna close out of this, the pack 1. We're gonna go to pack 2. That was pack 0 rather. We're going to go to pack 1.pk3. We're going to take these textures as well, copy them, get back to the game folder, UO, and we're going to paste it in here. And again, if it asks you to overwrite anything, say no. Alright? Now we're done with the game folder. Alright, that's the good news. Alright, never go back there again. Let's get back to our Call of Duty folder and UO, and we'll sit here. We're in our original Call of Duty UO folder now. Back to our Radiant. When I went to file save, I saved it as tutorial_room.gmm. Their GMM files is what the Radiant uses, the Gradient uses. Alright? When I saved that, it also made a .map file, which is what we use to compile. And where did it save that? It saved that to the Call of Duty UO. Whoops, that's main. It saved it to the Call of Duty UO maps folder. Alright? Which again, right here, maps. And inside here, there it is, tutorial_room.map. There should also be a folder called MP inside of your maps folder. If there isn't, make it. Just right click and go to new folder. Alright? Go ahead and copy the tutorial_room.map, or whatever your map name is. Go into your MP folder and paste it here. I already have it there, but alright, there we go. Now you should also have a batch file. Now I included in the zip file that you downloaded with this tutorial, I included the tutorial_room.bat. Alright? Now what you need to do is you need to rename the .bat file to whatever your map name is, .bat. So if your map name is named test, because it's a common, you know, people name their maps that a lot. If your map name is test.map, by the way, if you don't see the .map or the .bat at the end of here, you got to go up to Tools and Folder Options, View, and then the box for Hide Extensions for known file types. You want to uncheck that, hit Apply, and hit OK, and then all of your file extensions will show up. All right. So we're going to go ahead and rename this to whatever your name of your map file is, except it's going to be a .bat. Then you're going to right click on it and you're going to go to Edit. And in here, what this is doing is a batch file just queues up a whole bunch of tasks that you yourself could do, but don't want to. We want it to be simple. Double click on a compile batch file and there you go, it's done. What this just does is it has the Q3 map, which is a tool. It comes with the UO tools, and it uses verbose printing so that it's easy to debug. If you ever have a problem, you can post your compile log. If you're asked for your compile log, I'll show you what that is, and then you can have people from Mods Online help you out. And then it's going to use a fast viz, which is good for compiling initially. When you're getting ready to actually release your map, you're going to want to do an extra there, not fast. and then it takes flare for getting all your lighting and shadowing, and it's just going to do a fast flare operation as well. Alright, and it's copying files from your Call of Duty UO maps MP, and it's pasting them into the Call of Duty, or the program files game UO maps MP folder. So that's where it's doing its work, is in that game directory. Alright, now right now it's making town.bsp and town.prt. It's because it's using, this is an old batch file. Alright, I didn't actually edit the contents, so since my map name is tutorial_room, I got to go to edit, replace, and I can see that this batch file was originally for town. So I'm going to find what town, replace with tutorial_room. So notice right here, notice these lines, town.bsp and town.prt. If I hit the replace all button, they turned into tutorial_room.bsp. .prt. Alright, so for find what you're going to do is you're going to do find what, you're going to type in tutorial_room, and then replace with, you're going to put in your map name, whatever it may be. Alright, and then you're going to hit the replace all button. For my example, I need it to be named tutorial_room. File, save, close. So this batch file should now work. Now when I execute it, it's going to take this map file, it's going to do all those operations on it, and it's going to make BSP, a PRT, and a poly file. So I'm going to just double click on it. Brings up this command prompt window. It's going to scroll a bunch of things. It's going to say press any key to continue because it hit that first pause. So I just press enter. It's going to scroll. It copied the files. There we go. Press enter to continue. Done. That's how quick a map this simple is going to compile, because there's no lighting operations it has to do or anything like that. So here we go. It made the tutorial_room.bsp, poly, and PRT. The BSP is the most important. Alright, we're basically done. Go ahead and minimize out of your Radiant, close out of your Radiant altogether. We can minimize this. This is my recording tool, and you're just going to load up Call of Duty United Offensive, because it copied, that batch file copied the BSP back into your Call of Duty UL Maps MP folder. That's where it has to be to test. And we're going to start a new server, and it's got to make sure the game type is deathmatch, and make sure that pure is no, and dedicated also should be no. After pure is no and your game type is deathmatch, because that's the intermission and spawn point we put in, hit your tilde key, which is directly to the left of your number 1 on your keyboard and right above the tab button, and you're just going to type in the map and then your map name. Mine is tutorial_room. You hit enter. You're not going to have a loading screen. That's going to come in a later tutorial, much later. It's not even going to be related to these, but it should say deathmatch, and then it should have your map name, just like you see right there. Notice the actor is not there, so we can go ahead and pick to be American with a Thompson. I have my own mods on, that's why my crosshair is different, don't worry about that. And we run around and everything works. I have a weapons mod on, so don't worry. But there you go, everything's really bright. There are no shadows, and it looks like a really bright room, and that's just because we don't have any world spawn settings. Alright, the fact is it worked. That's all that matters. We have a room, we have our map. Congratulations. So, my next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to get proper lighting and get a really nice second room addition. I'll show you how to make a doorway in between the two rooms, and that should probably do it for my using the editor tutorial series. So, go ahead and tune into that one. I hope this helped.